Forth from the comments.
All right, everybody, we are live. This is Jamie, and I'm here with my friend Amy, and we just decided to do a little coffee chat. So, I got to get mine in the screen. Did you see what mine says?
Pumpkin spice and everything nice. I love it. Mine is
I'm
a little church.
with the little cardinals. Oh, I
Yeah,
love that.
I love
Does it have the
cardinals.
same picture on the other side?
I think so, yes. Hopefully I don't dump this on my computer, but yeah. I do have to get more mugs though, because honestly, when I went in the cupboard this morning, I'm like, oh, like half of them have the handle broken. I'm
Oh,
like, I gotta represent and have actually a handle on my coffee this morning.
so you had to go look for one that had it on there. Well,
Yeah,
this one is a giant mug. I'm pretty sure it holds 2 cups of coffee in here. And I got this at the Dollar General.
nice.
Yeah. So,
Score.
and it's like the one that I use all the time. So even though here it is in January, I'm still using the pumpkin spice mug.
That's
I do
awesome.
switch over to my snowman mug during like the holidays. So anyway, I see some people popping on, and let us know if you're having some coffee, or if you're having tea. I know some people are tea drinkers and not coffee, and just kind of like what you're doing this morning. I see some people popping on, so we want to know like what do you have to drink in the morning? So,
I know I'm drinking my French vanilla coffee.
oh, so do you put a creamer or is it
Yeah,
flavored?
French
Yeah,
vanilla creamer. Yeah,
yeah. So
not that I need it.
I was thinking about this earlier. I would say my husband and I are kind of on the edge of like being coffee snobs. So I don't like Folgers, or I don't even know what. So I'm drinking Starbucks, ground up coffee, but the caramel flavor because I wanted to
Ooh,
have a
yeah.
flavor. And then I get the Starbucks caramel macchiato, I think creamer. I'm gonna
Oh,
switch to the no sugar one though. I'm trying to like not eat the extra sugar.
there
So
you
I'm
go.
gonna switch to that one. And do you want me to tell you a little trick since you put creamer in yours?
Sure.
So I put my creamer in my coffee. I put probably like a tablespoon because I'm drinking like 2 cups in here. And I have a little frother. Do you have one of
Oh,
these?
yes, those are so
So I
awesome.
froth up my creamer. I learned this from somebody that I follow. I frothed up my creamer, and then when I pour it in there, it's like a fancy drink, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah, yeah.
and then sometimes if I really want to be fancy, I will sprinkle some cinnamon on top of the froth of the coffee.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
so
I want to go to your house like in person for coffee.
you should you should do that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Oh,
Jen is saying coffee for me, black
yeah,
coffee. My mother
good for
drinks
you,
black
Jenna.
coffee.
I've tried it, and maybe I just have to have a better coffee. Maybe you have to have like a premium coffee to drink it black. I don't know. So, oh, let's see. Normine says tea first thing, and then she's drinking water. That sounds like me. I usually will drink my. So, I see Brenda says tea.
And
Loretta, what is
Christy,
cattle
she's
dogs?
like, right now, just water. Good for you, Christy.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of water too. Got my water
Yeah.
here as well.
I didn't bring my water over here with me. So, yeah, Loretta, I don't know what cattle dogs is, but now I do like a good iced coffee, and she said she's getting an iced chai latte. So that does sound really good.
Yeah. Curious, is anybody watching us inside of the event?
Oh yes, we were gonna check that out. Yeah.
If you are watching inside of the event, please let us know
Yeah, I
because
could
we're
probably look it
wondering if
up on my phone, but if somebody's so Hillary said she's drinking an energy drink. Hillary, I already shared with Amy that I drank it's a like an all natural energy drink already this morning. So I drink that before I drink my coffee that has the caffeine. And
yeah.
I'm headed to work out right after this. So I'm gonna be like all hyped up. That's why I'm talking a little bit faster than Amy.
Kellen says yes. We're streaming in the event as well. So hey, we
Oh,
know that
perfect.
every other week when we do this coffee chat with you all, then it will work on the page and in the event. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
perfect.
Cool
And we
beans.
were going to just kind of share a little bit about why this came about and why we decided to start doing this and just why we showed up today. So Amy and I have known each other for, we figured out, over 2.5 or so
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And we connected in a painting membership, and we took a course together, and we've been in a lot of breakout type sessions on Zoom where we got to know each other. And I think we just kind of connected because we both have this passion for like helping others and sharing about what it is that we know, and just hoping that that will inspire and really help other people succeed kind of in the creative space. And we each do something a little bit different, but they're kind of connected. And we showed up a couple of times together on Zoom to just chat about different things in our businesses. And one day we just thought, well, why don't we just do this live? Because we were answering questions for each other, and we just thought, well, maybe there would be people in both of our followings and the people that we mentor that might want to know the answers to the questions that we're kind of asking each other. So we are going to do this every other week, and the next time it will be on Amy's page. So we'll kind of alternate and have that kind of every other week. And we just thought we would keep it casual. We didn't really have a plan necessarily, but
Casual for me in the morning is good because I'm still waking up. Sometimes I get up bright and early in the morning, but it still takes me a while to just kind of get in the groove, have some coffee, do some brainstorming. I think it's so important for us to have some quiet time to ourselves, and you were just talking about that before we went on live as well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I was going to ask, what time did you wake up this morning, Amy?
I got up I actually woke up at like 6, but then I went back to sleep till 7.
Okay. I woke up at 7 actually too, which is a little bit later than I've woken up like most of the week. So I really slept like better last night so I got, I feel like Elf, sometimes when I say, oh, I got a full 45 minutes. I think last night I slept like 6.5 hours, which is, that's pretty good for me. Nice. So let us know in the chat. I'm just kind of like curious, like what time did you wake up, or how long, did you sleep? I'm just kind of like curious. Oh, Gina says espresso is her favorite.
And Kellen is cleansing. So she's another one having water.
Doing the water. That's good. With honey or coconut sugar.
Organic dark roast.
Yeah. I've never tried the coconut sugar.
That sounds so yummy.
Yeah.
I have a lot of food allergies, but I can eat coconut. And I love coconut.
We do coconut oil sometimes. You ever do that? And so my husband puts that in his coffee. Now, we like to do the coconut oil that does not have the coconut taste. I think it's the refined, doesn't have the coconut taste. And you can froth that up really nice too. And then it makes like a nice, So Tony says
Tony is like us. She's up at 7.
Yeah. Oh, see, Loretta's like me. She gets 5 hours sleep. And then she gets up for a little bit and then goes back to bed.
And she drinks what my sister does, the oat milk as well.
The oat milk. Too. Yep. I've tried that before too, or the almond milk. We get that sometimes. The oat milk is kind of a creamier, so I can see where that would be better.
I'm allergic to both of those, so I can't have either or. So
really? So but you can do the heavy cream in the coffee?
Yeah. I get like the coffee mate, the French vanilla is my favorite, so that's the one that I use. But I've got all kinds of food allergies.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
every year that I get older, it's like, oh, here's another one.
Oh, now somebody was telling me the other day that she has food sensitivities, and I guess that's different than a full-on allergy.
I mean, I do have some food sensitivities as well, and somebody else mentioned that she did. I think it was Loretta. But I have an EpiPen for like the nut allergy. That one's pretty
Oh,
serious. So I can't have anything like that. I'm allergic to oats as well. But the nuts is, that's the scariest one. And also
oh.
pitted fruits, they're called stone fruit. Anything with like a pit in it, I can't eat those. So yeah. But
Yeah,
enough
no
about
idea.
my food allergies. I want to
Wow.
help you all out. If you have any business questions for us or art questions for us, or just, you know, if we can help you out with motivation in any way or anything like that, please let us know. Um, Maybe we can talk a little bit about what we did yesterday, Jamie, or what we're doing this morning to kind of give them some ideas on what we're kind of doing. And then maybe that will
Mhm.
spark some questions for them.
Yeah. I know somebody had a question in the event too, and I think this was really directed more towards you than it was me because she asked, what kind of sealer do you use? And I don't remember right
Oh,
off who that was, but
oh,
um,
I I basically, for my paintings, this is my favorite one that I use, just Liquitex
so if
gloss
somebody wants to
medium.
type that in the chat there, Liquitex acrylic medium, gloss medium. And so you put that as a sealer over top of your
Yeah, I use this
paintings.
as a medium and as a sealer.
Oh, I love
Um,
double. Yeah.
yeah, you can use, they also have Liquitex, it will say varnish. So sometimes I get that,
Right.
but during the time when the world was shut down, I couldn't get it. So I bought a couple of big jugs of this, which works basically the
The
same.
same.
And I like to
Interesting.
have a
I,
little bit of
I
a gloss on mine, but you can get the matte if you want as well.
okay. I was gonna say I wonder if the varnish is, more expensive in a way because it's specific to what they want you to use
I'm
it
trying to remember
for.
the price. I think there is a price difference. It's really not too much, but still that stuff is fairly expensive. But you can get a long life out of a bottle that size. I typically paint on a 16 by 20 for my collector base, and I've sold numerous paintings. Like, and I'm a pretty fast painter, so that bottle will last me for quite a while.
A
So
long
you can
time.
get some good use out of it. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good. That's
Good
good.
morning,
So
Tammy.
yeah, Tammy's popping on. So Loretta says that she uses an acrylic spray to seal her paintings. And I have a funny story about that I think I've shared before, but I I did not start college in any kind of creative. Did I ever tell you that, Amy?
I don't think
I
so.
didn't have a counselor in high school that was directing me at all. So I didn't
Oh,
take any art classes in high school at all. None.
wow.
Now I still did some things like on the side just for so I didn't really have a counselor directing me. So do you know what I went into in college? Because I thought that I wanted to do this. I went into accounting. I went into the business college, which is kind of funny now that I own a business, but
Yeah.
and by
Well, it
my
will come in handy now. I mean, did you like it?
no.
It's
No.
funny you bringing this up because you know what's on those of you that know me, I'm always about, to-do lists and writing down. And on my list today is, some more tax prep. So not looking forward to
Oh
that.
yeah,
I don't think any of us are,
let's
but
not even talk about that. So, but I started in the business college and took the classes. By my sophomore year, my second year, I was like, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking because I was failing out of my classes because they were too hard. I was,
yeah.
it was way too much. So I switched. So my third year is when I really started the art classes, and I went into art education because I wanted to teach,
Yeah.
not necessarily be a fine artist or anything. So I remember showing up to, one of the classes and we had to seal our stuff because we were working with charcoal, right? And, it's all
Yeah.
messy and everything. And I remember going to the art store there on the campus and a spray bottle of fixative was whatever it was. I was like, what? Like, that sounds ridiculous. So I was in that class and people were giving tips or whatever. And one of the tips that I still think is like one of the best tips was they said that you could use hairspray.
Yeah.
So
Been there,
I
done
got
that.
a big giant bottle of Aquanet, and that was
Yeah.
what I used to spray all of my charcoal stuff, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably not as long lasting. It's, but for what
Yeah.
I was doing, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go spend $2 on the Aquanet instead of 25 or whatever it was on the
Yeah,
fixed tip.
yeah, exactly. It pretty much does the same trick. Loretta's laughing about
Yeah.
the tax comment. And let's see, Christy did accounting.
Uh,
And I love accounting, said no one
that's
ever.
hilarious.
Loretta.
You know,
And
here is what I learned though, and I come back to this quite a lot. The reason that I thought that I wanted to go into accounting, because like I said, I didn't have a counselor guiding me. In my math classes, we would do these math problems of the week, and there was a contest. Like, I don't even remember what you would win, whatever, a gold sticker or something, and
and
they
I
keep
know
track.
you're competitive, so this is where
But
that's
I'm, but
going.
I'm not really. I was competitive with myself,
Well,
and
not in a mean way, but you do try as hard as you can to achieve, and we
yeah.
need that in
Yeah.
business.
So there were these creative problem solving things that we had to do, and I loved those. So what I learned was I didn't like the accounting, I didn't like numbers, I didn't like math. It was the creative problem solving, right? And that was what I learned once I kind of got into, here I am starting as a third year student in beginning level classes with no classes in high school as a background, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know, I had never been taught about color. I had never been taught about the principles and elements of design. I had never, but once I got in there, I did intuitively know a lot
Yeah.
of that, right?
I think a
And
lot
I
of
could,
us, when we're creative, we do have that intuitive
right,
sense.
right.
I don't have an art degree or a business degree, but I have sold my paintings online to support myself and my family.
Yeah.
And I've just been creative, but it's not like I haven't gone out and done a lot of searching and learning, and
Oh, yeah, you
that's
can learn anything on
super
the
duper
internet.
important. Yeah.
Yeah,
Loretta was
yeah, for
asking
sure.
what medium I think that's directed to me. What medium do I prefer? I
Mhm.
I paint in acrylic for the most part. That's my favorite medium. And yeah, don't yell at us about the Aquanet. We don't use that anymore.
Yeah, I
And this
don't.
was way back in the day. I am an environmentalist myself, and it's like, honestly, you guys, my favorite thing to do is painting. And I've sold many, many paintings to my collector base, quick, fast, loosely typed paintings. And prior to that, I did a whole lot of portrait drawings, like Jamie was talking about using
Mm.
charcoal. And that was my favorite medium with drawing. So I did a lot of drawing of charcoal drawings of like people and animals were like huge, orders and commissions for me. And honestly, I never even sprayed them. I just told them what I would do to ship them is I would just take the paper,
And put like a piece of
and I would
newsprint.
go like this and put a paper clip and then slip it inside of the box and send it like that. And then when they got it, I would fair warn them, when you open this up, do not put your fingers on the actual artwork because it will smudge. So just open it up and put it in a mat and then a frame, because a mat will keep it from touching the
We'll separate it.
glass. And I mean, I've
Oh,
been selling these for years on end. I mean, I had a customer, collector of mine. I think she had like 9 drawings from me throughout the years, her kids, her dog, this and that. And it's been like at least 20 years. And she's like, I still have them hanging on my wall. They still look beautiful. And I didn't even
wow. And
seal them, spray
you
them.
never
Yeah.
sealed them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. So they
Yeah,
will
I like
last.
that idea of how you put it in, and so then you just put it in a box with the paper clip. I
Yeah, what I did was I just would go to the post office and get now you can just order them online, but I get the USPS priority boxes.
right.
They're like the short boxes, but when you put those together, it easily will like slip right in there,
Oh, sure.
no problem. Yeah. Although
Oh,
sometimes I had to pay a little extra because, believe it or not, with shipping, they will charge you if it doesn't weigh enough. Then you will get charged more. It's weird how they do that, but it is what it
that's
is.
yeah, but I can see with the priority box there is a certain limit or a certain, yeah, because I was shipping a lot for my business with subscription boxes, and I learned a whole lot about shipping. So if you
Oh
have
yeah.
some shipping questions, I'm sure that both of us can
Yeah,
answer
you've
some things.
done that recently with more so with yours. I mean, I don't ship out as much as I used to because now I'm doing art business coaching, running my membership. I've got a course
Yeah,
that
more
just
digital. Yeah.
module one just came out this past Monday. So I'm doing that, which is a huge passion of mine to help artists. But yeah, Jamie, you have more um recent shipping knowledge, I'm sure. But I
Shipping
usually just go
nightmares.
USPS. Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about shipping, and really the biggest like aha for me was the first class versus the priority, because I didn't understand what that meant. And so my goal was to always keep my boxes under 1 pound
Yeah.
and to do it from
Yeah.
home. Because if you go to the post office, it's a smaller amount, like it's 12
It is
ounces
a
or
little
something.
it is a little
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I use Pirate Ship. I don't know if that's what you use.
Yeah. No, I don't, but I'm gonna be looking into that. A lot of my Creative Warrior members use Pirate Ship,
Yeah.
and some of my other business friends do as well. But I use ShipStation that is
Oh,
connected to
yeah,
my
similar.
PayPal
Yep.
because it's already like integrated in there. I can't talk this morning. I haven't had enough coffee yet. But you guys know what I mean. So I use that, and Jamie is right. Like if you print from home, you print your labels here with your printer, you don't need anything fancy, then it is a little bit less. But I'm in a slight predicament because my mailman, who, oh my gosh, Jim, I love him. Like he was just amazing. And since I've been selling my paintings online, he'd come right to my home studio, right to the
Yep.
door and be like, Amy, you have paintings to go out today? Because I can't fit paintings in the mailbox. And long story short, he has now retired. So for the past 6 months, we have a new carrier. We didn't have a carrier for
It's
like
not
a
doing
month.
that.
Now we have a new carrier that works part-time, but now his route, which, I'm on his route, he only works portions of his route during his part-time schedule. So literally I get my mail like one time a week. So I had to,
Wow.
last week I had to go out and ship out a couple paintings because I'm like, oh, I can't wait for my new mailman to come by. I'm going to have to get these paintings
Yeah.
out.
Now with ShipStation, can you schedule pickups?
I'm not sure. I haven't tried to do that, but you know what? I know on USPS you can schedule a pickup, and that's typically what I ship. So I am, if I do an art show, I don't have one planned right now, but once in a while, if I do an online art show, and I know that I'm going to be selling numerous pieces, then I will start utilizing that. Now that I know my mailman is
Yeah.
not going to be there every day.
With Pirate Ship, you can schedule, and
That's
usually
awesome.
you have to schedule the day before for them to pick up the next day. So I've had a lot of luck with that. They'll come
Yeah,
and and pick them up off
wonderful.
my. So that was really nice when it was snowing and those kinds of things. And so you might
Yeah.
check that out in
Yeah.
ShipStation. I've
Thank you for
never.
that tip, Jamie.
Yeah.
I'm actually writing it
Yeah.
down. And, I've heard it mentioned so many times, so I will go check that out. There was a couple questions back here. I want to
I saw
go,
that too. Yeah.
yeah, let's see.
Nilda had a couple. Is there a benefit of a public personal page? And I think she's talking about like your personal profile on Facebook. So I can definitely mention a couple of things about that, but you can
Yeah,
let me know if that's for sure what you meant. I do have mine public. What about you, Amy?
I do. In
Yeah.
the beginning, though, it's scary. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't
Mhm.
want, I was very nervous, but listen, you can hide posts, you can hide the pictures of your kids, but
It-
you can show your post to who you want. So
right. You
even
have
if you
control of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
if you have a public page, which I recommend, and I'm
I do
gonna
too.
assume Jamie does,
Yep.
then just keep that in mind. If you want to post something that's like just for family, you can, not to get into too many techie things here, but you can literally create lists for your friends on Facebook so
And
that
just
you can
post it
show
to
that
them.
post. Just do that list. So I have one that's just for my family
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah, and I think just when you post, you can choose whether it's public or private, and that's like the
yeah,
easy way to Yeah, I just tend to not post a lot of things anymore that are, would be like completely private.
Right,
Um,
right.
the way that I look at it, part of like my tagline for my business is that, oh, I just realized like my logo is over your head. I should have switched this around. So,
No big
but,
deal.
but
Everybody know that this just goes over
yeah,
on this side.
I,
That's
you're right.
okay.
And I don't know if it shows up,
We're
but
cool.
yeah, part of one of my core values is community. And inside community means that I want people to connect with me, not my business.
Yeah.
I want them to know about my business, but for me, it's important for somebody to connect with me. And that means they're probably going to connect with me on a profile on Facebook once we become
I mean, isn't
friends.
that the first thing that we do? We go
Yeah.
stalk people out. We're like, oh,
Yes.
who is this person?
And then if you have it set up so your business page is listed on there, then yeah, they'll go stalk you, and then they like what they see, they show up to a video like this and they stick around and, they follow your page and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do recommend the public page. So yeah. And then you can just have control over what you make private. So, and then Nilda asked, will Facebook let you advertise or sell on a live? If you're meaning on your Facebook business page, absolutely, because that's what it's for. They are kind of shifting.
Sorry, Jamie. Can you all hear that? Can you all hear that? My cat, one of them is so loud. You go ahead and finish answering this question so I can let the cat into the studio because he's driving me crazy.
Oh, that's funny. So I was going to say, I think that Meta is changing a few things with the personal profile, just to kind of tie that back in to going live and selling. Because on the personal profile now, there is a mode where you can make it professional mode. And so I think that's their way of kind of transitioning, because right now on a personal profile on Facebook, it is against their terms of service to sell. So do not use a $sign. Do not do anything that makes it seem like you're selling. But the business page is, I mean, really, if you think about a Facebook business page, it is the most awesome resource. Resource isn't the right word, but we're not paying for being able to be on Facebook as a business. And, there are lots of other network marketing type things, or, where you have to pay for the website, or you have to, pay for the platform or whatever it is. So, but you cannot you're not supposed to do a live on Facebook on your personal profile to sell. Now, yes, are there people doing that? Do they run the risk of getting that all taken down? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So
I usually explain it to my audience as, because this question does come up a lot. Think of yourself on the highway and you're speeding, and there's a lot of people speeding. Like, you may or may not get stopped and get a ticket.
It's a risk.
But, I'm guilty of that myself way back in the beginning.
Right.
But then when I started learning more about social media and learning more about the policy and things like that, it's like, oh yeah, I can't be doing this. But there's very strategic ways on how you can start building your business using things like attraction marketing, it's called, on your personal profile.
I like curiosity marketing.
Yeah, curiosity.
It's the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, same thing.
Nilda says, when do memberships stop being beneficial? Do you want to take that one, Jamie, or what?
Sure. I'm always looking at that. So I've had my first membership since May of 2020, and that was my subscription box membership. And beneficial, I guess, depends on what your definition of that is. At the beginning of my subscription box, it was not profitable because that wasn't my goal at the beginning. My goal at the beginning was to impact the people that I had in my membership so that then I would have testimonials so that I could continue to increase my price. And, so, for a long time, I've had that first membership now for 2.5 years. And I'm in the process right now of kind of transitioning that because it became not profitable again. So it kind of went through this series. So if you're talking about beneficial as far as profitable, recurring income is probably one of the most profitable. Like, if you're just kind
Yeah.
of talking about the
Most
idea of
secure, right?
somebody,
Makes you feel comfortable.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a monthly income,
Yeah.
really. So
So,
that my subscription box, my membership was what allowed me to do a lot of other things. But when it became not profitable for me anymore is because shipping prices, cost of materials, cost of sourcing, time for sourcing, all of those. So I had to make decisions in my business about whether it was profitable or not. Beneficial as far as how it's impacting, that was part of the reason why I started my second membership this past summer, specifically more for creative business owners and helping them with their social media. And that has become one of my favorite things. I love helping them out, and then we get together on Zoom. And so I really feel like that one is benefiting them, so it kind of depends on the definition of,
yeah.
but,
I'm
and I know
wondering,
you have yours. Yeah.
yeah. I'm wondering, and I agree with everything that you said there. I'm
Mhm.
wondering if she was asking about like on our end, or like when
Right.
you're in a membership, because like if you're wondering like in a membership, if you should stay in, like
That's
I'm
what
in
it
a
sounds like
membership
she was
right now,
asking. Yeah.
right? So I run a membership, Creative Warriors, and I'm also in another membership, the Power Players Club. And so I'm learning something in that membership to take my business to another level, because
Yes.
as we grow, when we were talking earlier in our conversation, our little coffee chat about learning and growing, and I was saying I never got a degree in art or business, but I have learned and actually made this happen. So we do have to be, learning. So for me, in the membership that I'm in, um, it's very beneficial to me. And I've been in that membership since August, and I'm going to stay in for, well, I don't really have any plans on leaving actually that one, but this one is all about like, I have a coach in there for ads manager and ad accounts and things like that. So that's stuff that I do not teach inside of my own membership.
Right.
That's something that I'm learning for myself to take my business to another level. Because inside of Creative Warriors, it's all about teaching you how to market your paintings online organically using social media, because that's what I did
Yeah. Me
myself. I
too.
had success doing that myself. But yeah, I mean, it's really, if you are asking about the other end, like being a member, then it really, you just have to ask yourself, is this whatever the membership is about, am I getting value out of it? And if you're getting value and it's working, then stay in. If
Yeah.
it's not for you, then it's not for you. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if even that's which one of us answered the question, but hopefully that helped.
Yeah. I know I actually just asked this question in my creative business owners group, and I know a lot of people in here in that group. And I was asking about how many memberships they were in and if their return on investment was, if they had calculated that. And so I think it's really important to, especially here at the beginning of the year, and you kind of mentioned like taxes and like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, like make a list of all the expenses, right? Because a membership that you're in is a business expense if it's specifically to help you in your business. And make a list of all of those and then try to connect that to what's the benefit as far as like your return, meaning like how much money are you making because of what you're learning in that, because of the resources, because of is it benefiting you, and have you gotten to the point, because I think there is a point where you will I don't know if time out, or if you don't need to be in the membership anymore because you've gotten beyond what you need from the membership. right? And so and that's nothing against the person who's running the membership, or you've just, you know, you've exhausted what you need from that membership. But as long as you continue to get value and it helps you to increase your income, increase your
Yeah.
profits, you know, make your life easier because it saves you time. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's an investment
Oh,
that
heck
you
yeah.
might not see with profit, but to
Right.
me, yeah,
I'm glad you brought that point up because it's not all about the money, right? It
right,
depends what the membership is and what you're in there for, but you know, you're right, Jamie. It's not all about the money. It's about, does it save you time? Do you have community support? What is it that you need to keep you going in business? You know, unless it's not a business membership. Maybe you're in a different type of membership. There's a lot of like, I'll teach you how to paint memberships. If you're learning and
yeah, then
applying and
that's
getting value, then that's great.
right. That's beneficial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kellen said that she's streamlined, and I love that word. My word, well, one of my two words for the year is align. And I think streamlining connects to that, because then you're clarifying, you know, what it is that you need, and streamlining according to your values, what you need. And yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
So
I missed a question, Jamie.
yeah, and we can
I'm
always
trying to,
come back to these and ask too, because I don't want to. We were thinking maybe like 30 to 45 minutes we'd stay on here and chat,
yeah.
so we don't want to. Yeah, but I see the one that Donna was talking about. Is it better to keep my original business page that I started 12 years ago? Good for you, Donna. Or create a new one? Asking me because I've noticed differences. Oh, differences in the Facebook page. I didn't even think about, yeah, there being that. So, you know, what I've heard a lot of people doing, if you have an email list, you know, which I think both of us would encourage you to start an email list. Yeah, if you see benefits of the new one and having a more focused audience on that new page, I think that it could be very beneficial to then get all of the, you know, new features and things like that that might be on the business page. But you do run the risk then of losing some of the followers, you know. So I think that you have to make a post on the old page, send out an email, do all of your things that you can do to move people over to that new page. But I also think that you can make a post on that old page and say, hey, I'm transitioning to this new, you know, kind of maybe because you're kind of transitioning in your business a little bit. And, you know, this is what I'm going to be doing. If you want to stay on my page, you know, I'm going to start as of, and give a date and kind of like build up and, you know, that kind of thing. And then
Yeah. Build the excitement up a little bit.
yeah, you would keep the followers who would want to stay on that page. And so I think you could do it either way. But
Yeah. Gina asks, how do you know how much to charge for a painting? That is a packed full
that is
question.
you.
But in the short, Gina, for me personally, I charge for, you know, how long it takes me to create the piece and what it costs me in supplies. And then I'm the kind of painter that adds. I don't add my shipping into the painting. I will charge for shipping. But you know, there's no real right or wrong. Like, but that's what I do. I figure out, what do I want to make per hour? How much am I going to charge for this? I try and keep, you know, somewhat of an idea on, you know, how long it's taking me to paint this piece so that I can charge accordingly. That's why some of my, you know, collector base, especially in the beginning, were like, oh, how come this smaller one costs so much more than this one? Is because I'm charging per hour to
Yeah.
create the piece. But you can also charge per size. Some of my very own members and Creative Warriors charge per size. That's totally fine too. Whatever makes sense to you. I could go on and on about this topic, but I'm going to frame it in.
Yeah, I haven't sold, you know, too many pieces. Do you have dogs back there too, Amy?
Dogs.
Yeah.
I have one dog. It's
Oh,
not mine. It's my brother's. My brother's staying with me, and he has a pit bull that is deaf. And so yeah, we've got the dog,
oh,
and I
okay. I
have
thought I heard like a
my cat.
barking. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I haven't really sold too many pieces of artwork, and I know that that's been something for me to try to figure out, my time and, supplies and, all of that, the size. And I know there's a formula out there somewhere that says just based on size, you take the length
Yeah.
times the width and, you figure out whatever.
Like
And
square inch or a linear inch, you
yeah,
can do either or.
yeah. And yeah, I don't know that I really ever figured out, because I'm not doing that as often, like, what that cost would be. So yeah, I think it's really what people are. I mean, we've all heard of artworks, by the famous artists that, millions and millions of dollars. Are they any different than ours? No, it's because they're famous. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, like Pablo Picasso, I mean, he was really great at marketing. Plus, right off early in his career, he had someone to help him
Yeah.
market, a business person that was right on it. And
Advocate for
obviously,
them.
this was way back in the day. So, a lot of people ask me, "Oh, I don't know if my paintings are good enough to sell. I want to do an art business like you." But and hear me, please hear me. Yes, the painting is important, right? But you know what is the most important? For people to connect with you, like Jamie was talking about earlier,
Yeah.
because when
That's
people
my other
follow
word, is
you,
connect.
yeah, when people follow you and connect with you and they're purchasing a piece of art, they're purchasing it because they're getting to know you, like you,
Yeah.
they like your story, they want to be a part of what you're creating. So it is not so much about the actual art piece
Right.
as it is about you making a connection with your art collector, your art customer, your art lover, your client, whatever you call them. There's 100 names.
Hmm. Well, because think about, like, part of the reason that we connected is we both like coffee, right? And we said, hey, well,
And
let's just
business.
let's just chat while we're having some coffee. So,
Yeah. Coffee,
and I
business, and creating. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah.
So I said earlier on a post, like, what's better than like chatting with my creative friend and hanging out with creative people and drinking some coffee? So yeah, it's how you connect, and yeah, for sure. So Tony mentioned starting a membership is a huge commitment. So um, since I have two now, I have really thought a lot about that. And there is a course that, the one that Amy and I took, that they just announced the date of the free workshop, and it's April 20th. So I can put a link in here for that. And that was really where I've learned the most about memberships. And there may be a lot of upfront time for a membership, but one of the things that I've really learned being in a membership and running two memberships now, sometimes we feel like we need to provide more to keep people in a membership and to keep them interested, and I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Right.
I think it has to do with the value of what it is that we offer in the membership, and how we present that to the members that keeps them, and that's part of retention that you learn in the course. And so I think sometimes we do too much up front before we before we prove the concept. Right? When I sold my first membership and launched it and presented it, I had no content. I had no group. I had no supplies that I was sending out in a box. I pre-sold the concept of what I wanted to present to them, to get them into the group so that I could ask them questions about what it is. I mean, I had an idea, but I wanted to get their feedback about what, and sometimes I think simpler is much better. I was just listening to, do you know Marie Forleo? Do you follow her?
Yes. I mean,
So
no, I haven't followed her a lot, but one of my business buddies, Brenda, she's big time into the
yeah.
Marie.
So I've been listening to a lot of her stuff, and people on here have probably heard me talk about Everything is Figure Outable. That's her book. I read it
Yep.
right when I started my business, and it was like it still kind of is like my philosophy of, how to do things. And she talks about, and somebody should type this in the chat, you need to simplify to amplify.
Mm-hmm. Love
And
that.
that's really stuck with me. Like, make it simple, right?
Yeah.
What is the phrase? The keep it simple, sister, right?
Yeah.
The kids. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's great, Jet.
Got
She
way
says,
off on
love
there.
all that you're sharing here. Awesome. I'm glad it's helpful.
Yeah. Tessa says 3 times the cost of the products. I can see where it could be
I mean,
that, but
there's no right or wrong,
right.
really. It's what you want to do. Everybody's going to tell you something different. So I just tell you what I do, and then I give you some ideas about what other people do, and then you pick and
Yeah.
choose what's best for you.
Yeah, I always tell the people that I work with, I'm just telling you like my best practices, but that's for my audience. That's for what I'm offering. That's for, you have to test things out for your own audience. You have to test things out for how you do. Yeah, we're just kind of giving you like our best practices and yeah. So, oh, I see like Madeline just hopped on there. So,
Yes. Hi, Madeline.
yes, Tony, it's Marie Forleo. It's Forleo. So I think actually today it might be today. She's got a little, mastermind thing or whatever that, or, workshop webinar or something that I'm going to go to.
Is that
So
one of the things you're like, oh, why am I going to do this?
yeah, probably. So I do
Uh,
like how they're all like allowing you to put it on your calendar because that is the best way. Like I use my phone, and I just
what do
upgraded. What
you
kind of
use? Your Google Calendar?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that way I have access to it on my phone too. What kind of
Yeah.
phone do you have, Amy?
I have an iPhone, but honestly, I was an Android for years and years, and then
Oh,
I
okay.
switched to the iPhone because I had two phones at one point, to help my members because we all have one or the other, and then the Android died, so now I have the iPhone. But honestly, and for me, I love the Android way better than iPhone. There's a few
Interesting.
things that I do love about iPhone, like the pictures, the quality, certain things that you can do with it, but for like easy navigation and making sense to me and my brain, I like the Android better.
Interesting. I've
Yeah.
always been a Droid user. I started off with a BlackBerry. You can
Yeah.
let me know in the comments if you ever had a BlackBerry with the little ball that was on there. And so I've always had a Droid and I was running out of memory on my phone before I traveled to Texas this past summer for a conference and right beforehand I got a new phone. So I have the S22 and it has the little stylus, at the bottom there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, neat.
So the
Ninja trick.
stylus, yeah, the stylus you can use as a clicker to take a photo.
Oh, very
So it's like a
cool.
little remote. Yeah. I think that you can use it for like all, but then I can like use it on my phone too. So I've done
Mhm.
that. And so there's all kinds of, I'm really, the more and more that I learn like how to use it and what I can do. And the pictures are just like phenomenal. And yeah, so we could do like a whole topic on, yeah, just
On
phones
phones.
and
Right.
yeah, and like what you could do on there. So, hey, we are at about 50 minutes and I know that I'm just about finishing my coffee and I definitely
Yep,
want to get a
same.
workout in. Um
You're gonna put
so
me to shame. I'm gonna have to go work out after. I
I'm
usually
doing
like
this.
to walk, but it's we get a storm out there. It's very
Yeah.
slushy and snowy. I'm like, I might just have to ride on the elliptical and call it good.
Yeah. Yeah, I stream all of my workouts and I'm doing a pretty intense like lifting program right now. And
Mm,
so I don't remember. I think today's like a total body kind of yesterday I did like upper body. So,
are you
washing my
sore?
hair might be a
Still
little
sore?
yeah, but I definitely want to get that in and doing it earlier in the day is better for me. So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm so excited that all of you showed up and I know that there are more questions in there and let me go ahead and put this up here so you have the date. Our next coffee chat is going to be on January 27th and it's going to be on Amy's page and Amy's going to create an event. So you'll be able to, mark going on that. And for when they're on my page, we're going to alternate every other time that we do this. And we're going to do bi-weekly, we decided, right?
Yep.
So every 2 weeks you can show up with your coffee and ask us questions and, just hang out and chat with us and just kind of, catch up on what we're doing the past couple of weeks and everything. And I know for mine, I have a text list. So I had asked,
oh my gosh, I forgot to send out a text this morning.
Well, you sent out an email. I didn't send out an email.
No, whoopsie.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's the first time we're working out the quirks here.
Yeah. So I do have a text list, and I'll be sending out a text even like when we're on Amy's page too, because I'll be, live. And so that's really the only time that I send out my text messages when I'm live. So Rhonda asked if it will be recorded. So this right now is on my business page, but it's also inside the event. So if you mark going in the event, then you'll get a notification. Yep. When you show up for the live video, I think it comes back to this page, to my business page or the page that will be on, but it does also show up in the event too.
Yeah.
So you can, so it's recorded both places, and I did stream it over to YouTube today. So you can also find, I'm just on YouTube underneath my name, not my business page, but yeah.
Tony wants to know what kind of phone is the one with the stylus, Jamie.
Yeah, Tony, I'll come back and put it in the comments after I work out. But it's an S22 is the one with the stylus. S22 Ultra. It's the Ultra. Yeah. So very good. Tessa, the next one will also be at 9:30 in the morning. So it will be 6:30 a.m. for West Coast. So
but it's Tessa, totally worth it.
Yeah. Tessa, I'll put it in the comments, but it's Jamie Norvell, and it shows up on my business page underneath the About section. So you'd be able to see it there. So yes. Aaron, I will put that in there. So Amy, thank you for coming over to my page. I think this was just so much fun, and it's always fun to kind of hear what another creative is doing and kind of how they're doing it. And, so.
Well, thank you, my friend. I'm excited about this, even though morning is not my best time, but this is wonderful because I feed off this energy to be able to hang out with you and to help. And it's a really nice start to my day today. And I hope that it is for everyone else hanging out with us too. So yeah, this was a great idea, Jamie. And I'm glad that we're trying this out. It looks like it'll probably be a nice hit. So yep, I'll be setting up the event on my page for the 27th. So all of you can go over there, click on going to that so you don't miss a thing. And maybe, Jamie, we can probably like pre-make, most of the events, because we'll know when they're happening. And then that way.
Yeah. And since both of us are tagged, it should show up underneath events on both of our pages. So if you look underneath my events, if you look underneath Amy's events, then
good point.
Up. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. It'll show up on both of them, but it'll be every other week is what we're planning. I do have a couple of different trips planned, so we'll have to kind of make sure that,
Same. I forgot to check that calendar, but yeah, we should be good. Even if we're at the airport, we can just get a cup of coffee.
We could. That would be fun. Very good. Well, thanks everybody for showing up, and you can let us know if you have, I'll come back and, put comments in there and answer questions that we didn't get to.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thanks everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye.